So this question is an island question. Any question that has an equation that floats on top of the question, I'm going to call an island question. So whenever I have an island question, I immediately take that equation over to Desmos. So I'm going to show you here on the next screen exactly what we get by just typing in exactly the same equation that was provided, which is f of x equals absolute value 59 minus 2x. Once you've typed that in, then I like to go back and actually read the question. So the question here says the function f is defined by the given equation. For which of the following values of k does f of k equal 3k? So what does that mean? That means we have some k value that once we plug it into f of x, which would make it f of k, hopefully that makes sense, that the answer to f of k, which is a y value, will equal 3 times the original k value that we had. And I know that's a lot, but here's the idea. All of our answer choices, and I know it's small print, so choice A says 59 fifths, choice B says 59 halves, choice C says 177 fifths, and choice D just says 59. These are all possible k values, is how you want to think about it. So the question is, if you had f of 59 fifths, right, meaning that the x here is replaced by 59 fifths, would the answer be 3 times 59 fifths? That's basically the question that we're asking for each of our answer choices, right? If you had f of 59 halves, would the answer, or the y value that goes along with that x value, right, with this x value, would that answer be 3 times 59 halves? And so on and so forth, right? We do the same process here and the same process here. So the best thing to do is to check. So we go back to Desmos, and here I type in, well, x is equal to 59 halves. What that does is create this purple line for me here at the point where x is 59 halves, which is right there. Then what I look for is, well, what's the y value when x is 59 halves? So Desmos tells me that the decimal for 59 fifths, is 11.8, and that 11.8 times 3 is 35.4, which is the y value that matches up with this x value of 11.8. So choice A is definitely going to be the correct answer. Why is choice A the correct answer? Well, it's because f of 59 fifths is equal to 3 times 59 fifths, which is exactly what our question said our right answer should do. F of k should equal 3k. So let me show you what happens with the other answer choices. Here's choice B. In this case, x or k is 59 halves. And we see when that happens, we're here at the vertex of this absolute value graph, and 0 is definitely not 29.5 times 3. So that's why choice B is incorrect. Choice C, it says that, well, what if k were 177 over 5? And again, we're just saying x instead of saying k, because then that would force us to have a slider on Desmos. And since k is just a variable, and we're going to put it in here for this x value anyway, I'm deciding to just stick with using x. So you have that power as well. So again, this is saying, hey, when f, or when k, or when x is 177 fifths, f of 177 fifths actually is 11.8. And 35.4 times 3 does not equal 11.8, which is what the question tells us our right answer should accomplish. And then lastly, if k is 59, again, we're replacing k with x, saying x is 59. When x is 59, in this case, y is also 59, which obviously tells us that 59 is not equal to 3 times 59. So the only answer choice where the x value that we replaced with, or the number that we replaced x with, 11.8 in this case, or 59 fifths, the same thing as 11.8, where the relationship is that x value is equal to 3 times the X value that we put in is for choice A, right? 11.8 times 3 is 35.4, and that's why choice A is the correct answer.